Hello, hello. I decided to do something stupid today. Convert my entire project to GDscript, because why not? Let's see how it compares to the C# version. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing fine. Let's sort this out. Hey Zach, how you doing? Close this, close this. I got a bunch of new things set up actually. I got new GDscript project. Hey hacker boy, how you doing? I just closed out all of my projects. That's great. Good start. Colony simulator. There you go. Yeah, I got a bunch of new things set up. I got new version of Godot set up. I wanted to mess around with 4.4. I don't know why. It's in the dev 3 state at the moment. And I got a new IDE set up because pain. Shut down the computer next. I could see myself doing that today. Very, very, it's Monday, you know, it is Monday, right? Yeah, it is Monday. So on my other screen, I currently have my old file structure set up. So what I'm going to be doing basically is just converting a lot of the C# code that I have into GDscript, which means starting from mostly scratch. It is in fact Friday. If it was Friday, I wouldn't be here. I have things to do on Friday. Yeah, so let's get started with this. Let's start with just creating some new folders for like terrain generation. And go from there, I suppose. What did I use for terrain generation before? It was just a Node 2D. We're just going to get this set up in the old way because I do have a new way of generating terrain. I just don't feel like setting that up right now. We're going to need a tile map layer. We're going to need tiles from a tile set, so let's go and open up the offline assets and pull in the terrain base, which isn't here, but the base sprite file is. Okay, I didn't pour all of the old assets over. That's good. Hi Raven, how you doing? Let's just export this as a sprite sheet. Let's just export that straight into my assets folder. I am remaking my colony simulator that I was working on the previous stream. I was using C# before to make it, and I was just doing it to practice some C#. I thought, hell, why not convert it to GDscript and just see how it runs? And today I'm going to be messing around with that, and I'm also going to be messing around with the Rider IDE, because it's got GDscript support, and that just sounds kind of better than the built-in editor or built-in IDE. So that's my assets added. Let's just go and do dumb things. Tile map editor. This will be a little bit quick because, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing, and where I'm not like teaching anything, I can just kind of go at my normal speed. But if you do have any questions or want to know anything about what I'm actually doing, feel free to ask. Good luck with it. Appreciate that. That's good. That's done. Throw a new script in, and let's open it up and watch Rider break. Or not even launch. Give it a second. No, it's doing things. It is doing things. Okay. Why did that open like 3 times? What you doing there? Yep. Don't be doing this now. This is one downside with yeah, this is kind of one downside to me using Rider at the moment, is I keep running into this issue where it's just not detecting the correct class and stuff. So what I can do here is open Oh, that's why. It's just being stupid. I opened the wrong file again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop doing that where I open it through GDscript first. I'm gonna have to start opening it just through Rider itself. But that's good to know. That means that create a new IDE folder, get rid of that, and that should all be running fine. GitHub is all set up. Yeah, everything's running fine. Grand. So let's just get export file set up for the tile map real quick. We'll just call it tile map layer. Set that equal to null. We're going to get some other export variables set up for the width, which needs to be a float. No, it needs to be an integer because dumb things. Set that equal to 100 for now. We'll set it equal to 10 to make sure I don't blow anything up. Forgot my variable casting. There we go. Misspelling things. So how is everybody doing today? Everybody doing good? You have been having a good day, good weekend? Yeah. That I'm terrible at spelling? Yes, I was about to say that too. What is this package? Ooh. Ooh. That does not sound fun. Hopefully the actual routing isn't as bad this time. Like 400 packages sounds like a pain. What do I want to do here? Let's just go tilemapLayer.set underscore cell. And we are going to just throw in the cell coordinates of X and Y. I'm doing that wrong, that's why. X and Y. This is my brain working faster than my brain should be working right now. And it needs to just be a vector 2i of X and Y. Then I need the atlas variable, and then I need the atlas coordinates, which we're just going to set as 0, 0 for now, and then alternate tiles. Is that correct? There we go. Let's just do that for now, and we'll just slap in generate terrain and get it to just throw up some squares. It's been better, just more. That's fair. Better is good at least, though. Like, better is good. As long as it's not, you know, like, breaking you, I suppose. Terrain generator. Oh yeah, let's just throw this into here for now. One fun thing Rider can do as well is it has debugging automatically just set up, which is great. And that's immediately breaking because I forgot to do the thing I always forget to do, and that's assign the tile map layer correctly. I should technically just create an onReady variable for this. This is me being used to working with C#, and creating onReadies is non-existent, or at least painful. So let's try that again. At that time it's done nothing. That's interesting. New IDE problems. Gotcha. Okay, that works. And yeah, there we go. Like, basic tile mapping sorted. That's all green. Why is that all green? That should be all oh, wait, no, that's because that's 001. Yep. Next thing to do would be to pretty much just link in a noise map into this, just to get it actually doing noise related things. So let's just go and do noise. We'll call it the height map. I underscore map. Use fast noise light for now, so that equal to null. Height tile, which should be equal to a float. Set that equal to the height map. Dot get underscore noise 2D, and the floating will be X and Y. Why are you having issues? Height tile is declared but never used. Oh, okay, fair enough. But that's not why it's actually causing problems, is it? Actually, let's just yeah. Floats. Pen the height tile. So what I'm doing now, what I want to do is, that's wrong, there we go. More or less, I just want to make sure outside of the for loops, inside of the actual class itself, that I can print out the mins and maxes of the height values that I'm currently getting. That will allow me to actually start moving into adding things like dirt, mountains, things like that. So the easiest way to do that is first you need to figure out what your actual mins and maxes are, right? So this is the easiest way of doing it. Append it all to an array, make it so it's actually a short width, short height, so it's not going a bit crazy. Or you could just do 100 tiles by 100 tiles and go for 10,000 tiles, why not? Or is that 100,000 tiles? No, that's 10,000 tiles. That's 10,000 tiles. I can math. Height array dot min, and I could just do this with, yeah, let's just do it like this. Let's use some Godot things. Why are you using VSC? I'm not, I'm using Rider. So I was using VS Code originally, and now I'm switching over to Rider. It just feels like a more comfortable IDE, especially for GDscript. VS Code is a pain in the ass to set up with GDscript. Rider, it comes built into it now, and then you can download the extension for extra functionality if you really want to. But this feels better to me because the other thing that I can do here is I should be able to multi-window. I don't know how to do it, but I can do it. Yes, you should be able to, yeah, there you go, multi-window. So now I can actually compare two classes and actually work with two scripts at the same time. There's a lot of things you can do that you can't do in the default Godot editor. And when it comes to working on much larger projects, having a separate editor that actually does a lot of different unique things is very, very nice. This also comes built in with a lot of extra features like generation for getters and setters, or a structure system. This makes me super happy. I know GD actual editor has this as well, but this feels good. I don't know why. And then of course I can use my ligatures and other things. Height min %s, where percent is equal to, that's the wrong one. I want to go height, no, I want to go height array dot min. And you're having an issue with me because reasons? Why is that not working? Am I doing that correctly? S%? No, it is %s. Okay, we're just gonna do this the lazy way because that's the kind of place I'm in today. Min and just height array max. On videos, by the way, one thing I should mention is I'm actually going to be working on a new save load manager and hotkey manager, because I can see people running into issues with those quite a lot, and there's a lot of things that I would personally change about them if I were to go back and rewrite them. So I'm going to be going back and rewriting them, creating a video out of them. That way it's going to be hopefully a lot easier for people to use. Also, I'm making a Minecraft parlor report of... So, class names. Class names are basically a way of... how can I say this in an easy way? This isn't entirely correct, nor is it entirely accurate, but class names in Godot are basically just saying this is the name of the script, and anything attached to it should be treated as the name of this script. It allows you to access inbuilt functionality within that class, so you can reference that class. You could create new versions of that class inside of a script by just using, in this instance, terraingenerator.new. This is something that I will be doing a lot in this type of game as well, because there's a whole cell data thing I plan on messing around with, which I could actually show off in 2 seconds, because I plan on creating those resources as well. Let's get this to run first and pray that it runs, which it doesn't seem to want to. Run. Oh wait, no, I'm being dumb. It's because, yeah, that's why. There we go. Good, grand. Alright. Perfect. That's now not doing anything I want it to. Why is that? Because it's double running. That's really stupid. What? New IDE issues. Woo. This is the only downside to switching to a different IDE. It can be painful sometimes. Why are you doing this again? Alright, that just timed out immediately. Gotcha, gotcha. Is there actually an error with the code? In order to do a null value, there's an error in the code. And once again, it's just me forgetting to add things to things. And the noise layer isn't... What? That's fine. Always a fun thing to have to do. Yeah, this is where I'm like deciding if I want to stick with Rider. Rider is something that I just thought I'd try out for the day. I use it in other projects. There we go, that's the height map. But we'll see how it works for GDscript. So that's all fine now, and that should just work. And that just works, and my values are between... Ooh. Those are some low values. Okay. Why is this having issues now? Because the references were not found. Rand, and that's because this opened the wrong thing again. Much better. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to add a rough multiplier to these noises. Press the wrong button because it still doesn't... This is bothering me. What if I just set it to this? Oh, that works. Huh. Why? Yeah, okay, that just works. We'll just keep it as that. I won't touch that again. That's better noise values. That means I can put anything below a certain point as... Yeah. So when it comes to terrain generation, this is a really, really dumb, simple version of terrain generation. So the values that I'm getting here, I can now basically just check, right? I can go in an if statement, if that height map point that I'm looking at is below a certain value, then I want it to be water. If it's below another value, I want it to be this, as long as it's above previous values. So really, really fun little terrain generation thing. So right now I'm getting my height array. I don't need to print this out anymore. So what I can do instead is I can just go if the height array. After I've done the basic generation here, I will go through resourcing and go through some class name stuff. So if you want to stick around for that, it might be a good idea if you want to see how I use them. Height tile is less than or equal to, we'll just say 0 right now. What am I doing? I'm going, yes, I want to just go and grab the tile map layer dot set cell. Vector 2i, x and y, vector 2i. So this is going to just be my grass layer. So this will be just set like that. And that is incorrect. Oh, that's because of me doing C# things. There we go. That should all be correct. Am I missing a bracket? Not. What am I missing? Oh, that. Okay. So that should, technically speaking, yep, generates 2 ground tiles. So these are just the 2 grass tiles that it wants to generate now, because those are the only 2 that actually meet that criteria. So I'm actually going to set this up to like 0.1. That should generate much more. There we go. Especially for our current sizing, which is like 10 by 10. If I change this to 100 by 100, there we go. Much cleaner. Right, so the next thing to check is basically separate if statement. We go if the height tile is greater than, I want to just start with less than that. We'll go greater than 0.01. And it's less than, it went up to what, 2? So we'll just go 1. So cell. This will be 1, 0, because that's the other tile, and then pretty much if it's just above 1, I can just set it to the rock tile for now. So if the height tile is above 1, laziness ensues. That should be good. Oh, no indentation, there we go. There we go. So we are getting basic terrain generation. Nice. Very nice, okay. So very, very, very simple terrain generation setup. And so one thing that's really cool about using height maps and generating just a 2D terrain map is you can then take that and turn it into a 3D map. All you have to do is start applying vertices and triangles to it and then changing the points of those vertices, like the actual location of those vertices, up or down depending on the height. And then you're getting a nice 3D tile map. So next thing, yes, height array doesn't need to be saved anymore. That does. I need to go through and rework some of that eventually, but don't need to think about it now. Resources. So resources is something I like to use quite often for a lot of things, and with resources, of course, comes class names. So what I'm going to do here is under my scenes folder, I'm going to just add a new directory. I'm going to call it resources. I'm not even going to add that under my scenes directory. I'm going to add that straight to my colony simulator itself. It's easier to find. Add a new directory, and we will just call this the cell data. Yeah, that's all I need there. Now what I'm going to do is, that should update in here. That has not updated in here. Why not? There we go. Just have to run the game every now and then. Gotcha, gotcha. It makes sense having to build it out. New script. This is going to inherit from resource. And this is just going to be called cell data resource. Open that up. So here's what I like to do with my resources. I like to give my resources a class name because it makes them easier to find and use. So this is just going to be called the cell data resource class name. Now what that means is when I go into things like terrain generator, what I can actually do here is I can export an array. We'll just call it cell data array. I don't even need to do that. I can just export individual cell data and I can typecast it as a cell data resource or set it as the cell data resource. That will give me access to all of the functionality inside of there, which also means I can set this in the inspector of this specific type. Now this is giving me an error because could not find it in current scope. Well, it will figure it out at some point. That's just normal scoping issues, isn't it? It is, yeah. But yeah, basically that's one of the things that you can do. So what we're actually going to do here is make sure that this is saved. Click build just to make sure. All saved, ready, and done. Okay. So what does my cells actually need to contain? Right now they're just going to need to contain a variable for type, which may also end up being an enumerator, because that's what I was doing in the previous one. How do I do enumerators in GDscript again? Great question. This just needs to be what, like an enum? Export enum. Does it need to be an export enum? I mean, yeah, that would be kind of nice to work with. Other thing I actually have, I don't know if I showed this off, is the docs. I have the docs on my left side. Always a good idea to keep your docs up. Can really help quite a bit because you can just search certain things and just be like, okay, GDscript enum. How the hell do I make an enum? Then you control F through it, and this is pretty much what I'm looking for here, where it's just like, this is how you make an enum. Done. And I can just go, okay, enum type, and then set the types like that. So let's do that. Let's just go enum cell type. We want dirt, we want grass, and we want rock. Now, one of the things you can do in resources, not entirely recommended, but something fun I like to do, is just more or less create an initiation function where you can, well, do this, where you basically just do init, or you create an actual builder function that you can use yourself. So you could do, one of my favorite things to do is to just create like a set underscore, like set tile type thing like that. I'm going to sneeze, give me 1 second. Right, functions, yes. I'm already getting my typing wrong, not my typing, not that. What was I doing this? Okay, so that's, yeah, we'll just go like that. So set tile type. This is going to basically need to take in a couple of certain values, right? Specifically, it's going to need to take in a float for the height value. Actually, we'll just call it the map data value. No, that won't work. How can I make this less confusing for future me? Something that you always want to keep in mind. But we'll just call it the height value. Height map value. And you can see I've been typing in C# a lot recently because of how I'm doing this. Here we go, I'll just full screen that as well. It's going to need to have a void return type, not that. And now, with this just getting passed through, I can go var type, change this to cell types, and then I can set this var equal to cell type of type cell types and set it equal to, we'll just go dirt for now. There we go. So every tile is now preset to just being a dirt tile, which means passing this height map through, I can actually more or less just do this here, where I just pass through this same value. So let's just do that now. Let's do this, and instead of doing set cell, that is all misaligned. Oh lord, that is painful. Let's realign. Okay. So if it is below a certain point, we can just set the cell type. That needs to be equal to the i_map_value. That should stop it from breaking? Question mark. Yep. Right pass. Why are you angry with me? Unexpected in... What do you mean unexpected indent? Eh? Where's the unexpected indent? I'm very confused for how this is functioning right now. That's normal, that's normal, that's normal. C#, man. C# will be the end of me. There we go. Oh, write in one language for long enough and it does things to you. So now I can just set the cell type equal to whatever I want it to be. So I can set it equal to cell types dot, and I want my lowest one to be grass. And then I just change this for each tile I want. So grass, dirt, because I want dirt to be surrounded with the rock, and then rock, there we go. Grand, why are you having an issue? There we go. Yeah, so now every time I create one of these, and this is the whole class name thing coming in, what I can now do here is, inside of generate terrain, I can more or less go var new cell data of type cell data resource, set that equal to cell data resource. New. You shouldn't have any issues with this. Cell data resource not declared in current scope. Ah, what am I doing? There's a resource. Cell data class name is fine. I wonder if this is actually a class naming issue. Back lost connection before I asked the question. Do you mind repeating it for me? Yeah, so I'm actually showing off now how I actually use class names and what they're actually really useful for. So I created this resource, right? This has the class name of cell data. Now, having this class name basically means when I create this class, I have access to the variables and the functionality inside of that class, right? So in this instance, I'm creating a new variable here. This is going to contain all of the data that I need for each individual cell or tile. So var new cell data of type. So this is going to be where the resource comes in, cell data, and I set that equal to the cell data dot new. Now this is going to throw me an error for dumb reasons, and it's because it's saying it's not declared in scope, which is very, very weird. Does that work? It does not work. It does. It does not. Okay, so that's just interesting. Right. Oh, now I can just more or less pass through the cell data here. This is some weird writer functionality. New cell data dot set. What did I call it? Set tile height. Set tile type. That is going to just be passed through the height tile that I got, which is the, don't do that, there we go. So what this is now doing is creating a new version of this resource based off of the class name, which for some reason is being a bit funky, which I'll look into later. Yay, growing pains. And then it's calling the function just built into this resource, where this resource takes the floating value of the height map, and then it just sets it to one of my enum types. That way I can see exactly what type of tile or cell is being used here. So now what I can do is I can create just a new dictionary. So I can go var cell data dictionary of type dictionary. Can I just recast this? No, I can't. Set that equal to... I don't need to do that. I can just do that. Yeah. Now I can just append the cell dictionary and the position, right? So position is the key, and then the actual cell type as the resource. So right here, we can just go cell data dictionary. If memory serves, it's this, and then I do, this is me remembering how to work with dictionaries in Godot. Vector to I, which is the X and the Y, and then I set up the cell, new cell data. No, that's wrong. That's immediately wrong. Okay. There is a chance that this is either square brackets or... There we go. And now, after all is said and done, what should happen is I should be able to just print off the cell data dictionary dot keys. And there we go. We now have a dictionary of cell data types. But yeah, this is still going to be interesting with parse errors for fun. That is definitely something I'm going to have to figure out. But it is adding what it needs to. Let's just pick vector 2i05. Interesting. Now that's just breaking. Gotcha. Is that y? And is that y? There we go. Now it works. Apparently I just had to build it. And look at that. It is now printing off the exact resource that I'm looking for at the exact position. So basically class names are just a really good way of having access to an entire script's worth of functionality. Now, one thing with class names you have to keep in mind is these are global space names. So if you give every single script you make a class name, that pollutes that kind of space a little bit more each and every time. This isn't the best example of it, but it can lead to future issues, especially if you've got like 3 things that are like cell types, for example, that do roughly the same thing but are slightly different. It can just cause some mild inconveniences in the future. But with my cells being set, I can actually start defining my proper resource values, which is great. One thing I know this is going to need is a movement cost. So movement cost is specifically A-star related or A-star grid related for some pathfinding. I want to make sure that this has a movement cost applied to it. 1.0 being the, not F, there we go. 1.0 being the default value. Basically what this means is when I change this movement cost value, it will force the AI that I'm writing to avoid, go around, or just do certain things with the pathing. So if everything on the map is a movement cost 1, it can walk on anything. If everything on the map but rocks are 1 and the rocks are 5, it will do everything in its power to avoid the rocks, so it'll go around them as much as it can. So that's set, that's set. That's very basic terrain generation. Yeah. Get rid of that indent. There we go. Don't need this anymore. I'm actually gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna run a quick for loop for the cell data dictionary. Now, this might sound a bit odd, but what I want to do is print off the cell data dictionary and then dot type should work, cell type. That should give me what I'm looking for, or it should break immediately. It looks like it broke immediately. That's going to throw an error. Build the game and find out. Oh, no, there you go. So it's actually doing the type. It is showing me the types correctly. Gotcha. Perfect. That actually does mean the thing is getting stored how I want it to get stored. Nice. The only downside is it's not being... That's not going to work, right? Just crash me. Yeah, thank you. Well, it works though, so that's what we need. Yeah, so I guess the next thing that I move on to is like a really rough get it sorted. Pull up the project files from the old one and have a quick look through. So scenes main. Camera is going to be a good idea, but that's a small pain in the butt. Autoloads is also going to be a good idea. Terrain generator is mostly done. It's not nearly as detailed as the previous one, but that's kind of fine. And entity is mostly just colonist things. So I guess camera is going to be the next idea. I need to crack this open. Yeah, so this is the camera script that I wrote for C# stuff. It has all types of the camera movement, whether it's click and drag movement, WASD movement, or hotkey movement, which is what this is. And I even built in border-related panning, but this was causing some annoyance during debugging, so I just kind of disabled it. Zoom functionality. This is something that I'm going to need to make sure I do, which is just getting the cell size, the actual size, camera clamping, centering. Yeah, okay. So that's probably the next thing on my list is camera things. I like... There we go, that's much better. Side-by-side view. Right. This is going to be more of a pain because this is direct conversion now. So first thing I need to do is actually go and sure, why not? Set up a new node of camera. 2D. RTS camera. Let's save that under not resources, scenes, game, new folder, camera. Do not misspell the word camera. Right. Let's class name this because it will eventually need to be used at some point. Spell the word class wrong. There we go. Okay. Sort out my export variables first. So we're going to need one for pan speed. Can you do private getters and setters in this? Yeah, private set. Oh, wait, can you? Is that a thing? Do I need to parentheses that instead? That is something I'm going to have to look into. This is where my GDscript is like really rough at the moment, where I haven't been using it in a while. So we don't need to worry about that for now. I do want to typecast that though as a float. There we go. Does zoom step even get used anymore? It does. Equal to vector 2i. Why am I using that as a float? Why am I uppercasing that? Your problem? Vector 2i not found in itself, and that's because I've misspelled vector. There we go. Yeah, this isn't like the most entertaining stuff to watch, but it is quite interesting to rebuild a project in a different language, especially not the one that it was originally built inside of. I'm going to need to go through all of the casing in this and change it at some point. Oh well. Just flow with it for now. Okay then, so those are all of my basic positions. Now we can just create our normal variables, which is like drag start. How many vectors do I need here? Many. I need many vectors, so let's just undo for now. So drag start and then camera start. Camera default zoom. Which should be, what, 1.1 and 1.1. Movement direction, which is something that is just a variable that needs to get stored for general movement direction. I can't remember, I haven't used this or wrote this in a little while. Next thing is the zooms min and max. And max minimum is set to 0.01. 1.4. And the next thing is just a zoom target. This was a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be, for me at least. Like, it is genuinely a lot more fun to do a language conversion, even though this is just variables at the moment. Looking into the actual processes and stuff is going to be fascinating, because I know there are some really big differences between C# and Godot or GDscript. Zoom target is just a vector2. Can I just zero that out? I can, thank you. I should honestly do that for all of these for now. Just .0. Grand. Right. With those zeroed the hell out, let's the variable for the tile map rect, which, if I remember correctly, is actually considered a rect2, isn't it? It is a rect2. Interesting. That was a decision I made. Equal to just a new rect, I suppose. Oh, why am I storing it as a vector2? I suppose that would work. Yeah, let's just store it as a vector then. Let's keep it the same and not break anything yet. Vector2. .0, there we go. And then finally the boolean for is dragging. So is dragging. Right. Now we can actually start moving into the fun stuff here. By that, I just mean not breaking things and converting things correctly. So zoom target is equal to the zoom. Zoom is equal to the camera default zoom. That's a dumb idea. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Let's just do it anyway. That should zero out individually, right? Yes. Why am I... Who knows? We'll figure that out as we go. The other fun part about rewriting code is you get to sit there and go, why am I doing this thing? I can just be passed for now. So shortcut panning is the very first thing that we want to handle. So let's just go. Func, what is your issue? Nothing. Good. Handle shortcut panning. I really don't like how I'm casing any of this. Yeah, that's something that I'm going to fix later. Cases will be in everywhere. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna have to... now grand. One thing I was concerned about was not having access to the actual built-in functionality. This is really nice. That is really nice. Ryder is making me very happy right now. So I'm going to need access to the pan underscore camera underscore left. New action for right, new action for up, new action for down, and then we want to have a camera underscore drag functionality. Do I want to make it an exit functionality right now? No. We'll just set these up with default. There you go. See, that is an issue with having a controller connected to the Godot. That just freaks the hell out. Left. No, left. And drag is just going to be left mouse button for now. Back into right up. And let's go pan camera. Look. Why are you doing that? I don't know. Who knows? Oh, it's going to do that every time, isn't it? That's kind of irritating. Yeah, that's actually going to be slightly annoying. Okay, even with tab indentation, that's doing that. Okay, bubble. Sometimes it's a good idea to just screw it and just work with it. Okay, so now I just want to move the local of the camera. So move local X in the movement direction times the pan speed. So one question that there's a genuinely high chance I'm going to get is, why do I not use delta multiplication? In a lot of tutorials you'll see, and even some of my older tutorials, you'll see me sit there and say, if this is running in the process function or wants to be delinked from the frame rate, use delta. Now, I don't know how long this has been a thing for, but delta is automatically applied to anything in the process function or physics process function. So you don't actually need to do delta, otherwise you're doing double delta. Or at least as far as I'm aware, that's how it works now. That should be... What is your issue? I don't know. Oh, it's just me being dumb. There we go. Float is vector 2. What do you mean? What? Right, that's interesting. Would that not just be this? And then movement direction. Oh. Me just missing variables. Love it. Right, what is this? Unused parameter for delta. I'll just do that, thank you. So that is shortcut panning, so the camera should now pan left, right, up, and down. Let's go and throw that into our scene and actually see if that functions well. What? Where is your problem? What are you doing? Dictionary-based issues. Or this? Okay, now we let rider fail and do it again. And that's working, but the terrain is now no longer being generated. Why is that? Why are you doing that? Because I'm not actually setting the cells. We'll just set normal set cell in action for now. What have I got it called? The tile map layer. There we go. Then. I'm broke. Because of that, that's why. But there is our panning. Now it's a bit weird on angles, but that is something I can figure out in the future. Oh, that's because it's not adding them together. That's fine. I will figure that out as I go, or I could just use get access instead of get vector, because access tends to work a little bit better. Why am I using get vector? Who knows? That should work. Oh, okay. I need to now separate this into two individual function calls. Yay, .x. What is your problem? Narrowing conversion from... Oh, it's because it returns a float. And that's because I've set the movement direction as... Oh. That then makes me wonder something very dumb. That's back to working fine. I just launched the other ID, didn't I? No, go away, IntelliJ, stop it. Give me a second. Actually, this is going to be a very good time to take a very quick break, maybe grab some coffee. Coffee sounds like a good idea. So what I'm going to do is... cry that IntelliJ is trying to open and needs to not. No, don't show people the game engine. Stop it. Yep. Yes, I am working on a game engine in the background. Because using multiple languages is dumb. I don't know. I need to be able to stick to one language. There's something that I've really struggled with. But hey, I'll figure it out as I go. This is little Boyd's project that I have, which is like my little start screen that I like to use. So yeah, what I'm going to do is leave you with this for 2 minutes and I will be back. And we have returned with coffee. God, coffee is so necessary. It just helps. Let's stop looking at the voids. Turn that off. I need to turn up my mouse DPI. Ooh, that'll do for now. Wrong thing, right thing, there we go. What was I doing? I was converting camera things. Yes, that is way too high for my DPI. That's better. So this is basically losing all precision when I'm doing movement direction because it's converting itself to an integer. We don't want that. What we want to do instead is use getAxis. What do you mean get? No, get underscore input dot get axis. That's going to need a negative left and right, like so. Now that shouldn't have any other issues if I just do this. What do you mean? Expressed end of statement, got literal instead. Oh, parentheses, there we go. Right. So now what I can do is do the same thing, movement direction dot y input dot get axis, and then I can just paste in camera up, camera down. That's probably going to be backwards. Now we grab the movement direction and we dot normalize it, so we turn it into a normalized vector, so it works regardless of what's happening and it doesn't act very weird. Now, there we go. Camera scrolling works perfectly fine. Doesn't change speed based on direction. Hell yeah. Nice. So that is shortcut panning sorted. Next thing is just drag panning. So let's do that. Fog handle. I'll just call it mouse panning as well because that's going to be handling. I really don't like how I'm capitalizing this stuff. I'm sticking with it for now, but I really don't like it. So that is something I will probably go through off stream and make sure I fix. And that is, yeah, I don't like it. So if anybody else doesn't like it, I get you. The first thing we want to do is check if isDragging is equal to false, and the drag camera button is pressed. Is action just pressed? Camera drag. There we go. Now I need to basically just grab the correct positioning. So we want the drag start position to be set equal to the get or view. I don't want viewport rect. Just get viewport dot get underscore mouse position. There we go. Now we grab the camera start position. We set that equal to the current position. Then we toggle isDragging and set that equal to true. So that basically just handles the start of the dragging. Now we need to just go through and create the dragging in general. Why am I doing this? This is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. I just got a ping hello from hello. Jesus. Right, what am I doing? Yes, so if isDragging, so as in, you know, isDragging is equal to true, and the input action released, I'm capitalizing everything still. Action just released. Camera drag. Conversion, not the best, not the most fun thing to do, but it is still very interesting. Because so far, pretty much all of this code is the exact same, which is nice. Like, I could probably more or less just copy paste this and then work from there. But hey, it's always a good idea to do it yourself. Wait, why am I doing that? I'm doing that the wrong way. We're going move direction is equal to get viewport dot get underscore mouse position minus the drag start position. You're having an angry at me, why? Vector 2, I, okay, that means that needs to stop. There we go. Yes, and now we just set the position correctly. Camera start position is minus the move direction times the 1 divided by the zoom dot x. That should work, question mark. Now what, are you having vector 2i issues again? You are. And that's because of what? Camera start position. All of my positions that are 2i's need to probably not be 2i's. Grand, let's just change that. I started working with tile grids and stuff too much, so everything needs to be vector 2i. That's not how that should work. Do I want to implement the border panning? Not really. The border panning was really painful, and I don't think it's something that most people would enjoy using. So we'll just ignore that for now. Alright, so next thing is just handling zoom. Actually, let's run the script and actually make sure it's working. There we go. Mouse panning. Yeah. There's always that thing, and this is just something for you to keep in mind if you're ever doing something like this yourself. When you are converting code, or if you're just rewriting old code that you've had, check it individually, line by line, function by function. Any reason you're using writer instead of Godot directly? Yes. This is one of the reasons why, so I can have two different classes, one on each side. So this is the old C# script I was working with, this is the new GDscript that I wanted to work with. Writer also just has a lot of just really neat functionality. I can apply the correct theme to it, so my eyes don't want to blow up. The kind of blue in Godot, like the very blue tint in Godot, it gives me headaches after a while, so being able to switch to something a bit easier on my eyes kind of just feels good. Of course, there's also code ligatures, and there's a lot of other reasons too. You don't need to. This is definitely not something I would recommend. There's definitely a lot of like growing pains with this, especially if you don't own a license for Rider yet. Just yeah, like VS Code is also an option. This just has like over VS Code, this has built-in GDscript functionality, so I can just use it with GDscript as well as C# at the same time, and there's no extra plugins, nothing that I even need to think about for this. It's just set up, ready to go out of the box. Now, I said Rider has a lot of other functionalities that are really nice, including source control and a bunch of other things. I've only used Godot alone for The JetBrains like IntelliJ, didn't know Rider had GDscript. Yeah, so just basic Rider has GDscript. Specifically, Rider 2024.2, if memory serves, actually came bundled now. It just comes bundled with GDscript. So for me, it felt like a no-brainer. I thought I would give it a try. And yeah, as I said, it just has a lot of just really neat, useful functionality. It's just, yeah. And Rider has been comfortable to me in the past. I was using IntelliJ to work on a little game engine project a while ago, and it felt really good. It actually felt really good. So I was like, okay, let's try it for GDscript. And it works. And of course, as the benefit, it doesn't just work with GDscript, it works with anything .NET, which is great. So I can use any of the C languages too. Hence the C# on the right side here. Speaking of, let's handle the zoom now. So JetBrains products, we have a license from uni. There you go. Yeah, no, if you can, try it. There is some mild inconveniences, though. I will say this now. Like, if you launch a Godot project, pass errors. If you launch a Godot project and you click the script button without actually opening up the project in Rider first, it will basically just create a new project inside of the other project with this script attached to it. It's a bit funky. So there are some little workaround things you kind of have to do to either get used to it, or I'm just like I've misconfigured something, which is also an option. But yeah, like it also has one really cool thing is one thing I loved about messing with C# was the fact that I could use the debugger from VS Code. I can now use the debugger from Rider, and I don't have to do anything about it. It just works, and that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Next thing to do. What was I doing? I was handling zoom. So let's do zoom. I need to create zoom, zoom in, zoom out, and zoom reset. So project settings, zoom underscore in, out, zoom reset. So if memory says I need to do this backwards, so mouse wheel down, mouse wheel up, middle mouse button. Zoom reset's a weird one. Don't know why I use that, but I'm going to. If input dot is action just pressed, zoom out. If that's C# kicking in. Zoom is less than the camera zoom max. Zoom target times equals zoom step.x. Why am I doing this? Great question, me. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh well. There's so much stuff that I need to rework in this project already. That's one thing that I was kind of planning to do with GDscript, because GDscript feels faster. Like, it is a lot faster to work with and prototype things out with. So I can just rework a lot of the things I need to rework. And a lot of that right now is just why I'm doing certain things that don't make sense. If camera zoom in, zoom underscore top times equals the zoom. I know why I'm doing this. Never mind. I'm storing the zoom in, zoom out as a vector 2 because I thought it would just make my life a little bit easier. So yeah, that's why I'm doing zoom step.x.y. And finally, if input dot is action just pressed, zoom reset, zoom target is just equal to the camera default zoom. Done. So that should now handle my zooming. Oh. Right, that broke. Why did that break? Zoom, that's why my integer value is wrong. Because it's not an integer value. There we go. One thing I might need to configure with this is, ooh, that's now not working. Oh, wait. Guys, why didn't you tell me I did? Oh, I did. Wait, what? Oh. Because my step is wrong? No. Zoom step is right. That is all correct. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that doing that? This isn't saved as vector2. Oh, it is saved as vector2 and I'm being dense. Woo. And stop it. Oh. Okay, so that is now working, question mark, but it's not. Zoom's being handled. Okay, so we are getting breakpoints. Nice to know breakpoints are working. So that's step over, that's step into. That's executing correctly. That is actually executing correctly. Okay. Why is it refusing to... Oh wait, I need to set up my clamp functionality. There's a bunch of the little helper functions that I've got here. Yeah, there's a bunch of little things that I've got that I forgot to completely set up here. So let's just set those up. The tile map created one is a signal, so we can avoid that one for now. We'll just handle the clamping of the camera, which is also going to need a tile map. They're all going to need a tile map. That's dumb. Well, figure it out. Stick to the same naming conventions I've been using. Try and at least keep it somewhat clean before I change all of it. And whatever my tile map route is set to. And we'll set up another one for center camera. Set the global position equal to tile map rect divided by 2, because it actually centers the camera correctly. So, new question, why? Why is that not working? Should be working. Zoom step is set up, pan speed is set up. Lerp weight never gets used, so that can actually disappear. There is something that I'm actually missing. Where is it? Ah, that's why. I was missing a slurp. Zoom is equal to zoom dot slurp. Zoom target. Ah, there's the zoom left way. Okay. Oh god, I really don't like it. I'm gonna keep complaining about that until I fix it. So that's probably the next thing I do, is just go and actually fix it. Don't need an F. I could just typecast this as a float as well. There we go. Much better. Why does that not want to work correctly? Why does it only work when I do this? That's why. Local changes, discard, reload. Hello? Now you don't seem to be just doing anything I want you to. What is that? Anos, hi, how you doing? That's already been preset to the default. Really? How about now? Now everything's broken. Oh, you've got to be joking. No, that works. Okay. Terrain generator. Having this issue. Right, that works. Make sure everything is saved. Okay. I'm getting a bit lost in the source now. Nice colony simulator. Looks like it's a new project. It is an old project that I am rewriting. So basically I am taking the old project from C#, which is what this code is here, over to GDscript. And right now I'm just having issues with some of the basic... Oh, that's why. I'm also getting used to the Rider IDE at the same time, so there's a lot of weird things happening right now that my brain has got to slowly get used to. Vector to I, X and Y. Oh, okay, now you're just being mean. Come on, work. There we go. Okay, now the zoom is still not functioning. Why do you keep doing this? That needs to stop happening. Okay, that's fine now. And is it something like RimWorld? Like RimWorld? It is similar to RimWorld, yeah. Like, it's something like RimWorld, that's for sure. It takes a lot of inspiration from RimWorld, A little bit from Oxygen Not Included, if you like managing colonists who like to consistently poison their own water. And of course, a little bit of like Warhammer-y stuff, because I don't know, I like Warhammer. Warhammer's fun. New question is, why is this not working? Wait to set correctly, the zoom step set fine. This might be a min and max issue that I'm having issue with. No, it's not a min and max issue. That is correct. Why is there a tween in this? I don't know. When did I use tweens? Oh, I remember why I was using tweens. Yeah, I stopped using tweens because they're linked to the engine scale, like the time scale in the engine. And that was a pain for me because I want to be able to mess with the time scale to make it move faster or slower depending. Now, mouse panning works fine. Oh, yeah, so right now one of the things I'm having issues with in Rider is this. It keeps not saving correctly, and by that I mean it's getting me to break things, and I don't like that. Zoom, target, zoom, blur, wait, just growing pains though. Oh, hey, there we go, look at that. Smooth scaling is working when it comes to camera zoom, hell yeah. Nice. Okay, so that's pretty much what I needed to set up for the camera, mostly. Next thing that I need to set up is my Autoloads. So let's go create a new folder for Autoloads. Do I want to create that there? No, I'll create it here. And then I want to create a new script, and I want to inherit from, no, just node will do. Do I want to do node, or do I want to, good question. Let's do it like this, create new scene, like this. Okay. So this is going to be my event bus. Save that. A very quick and very rough event bus to mess around with. Which will have global signals. Hell yeah. So make sure this is actually set up as an auto load. Because I know me, I will forget. Project settings, what? Levels, there we go. Oh, we want the actual TSCN for this. What? You know the name, must not collide with, oh, that's why. Me remembering how GDscript works, woo. Then. So now that should be accessible pretty much everywhere, and now I can actually create my signals. So, signal that actually needs to get here is on tilemap created. So, did you hear the reader engine looks like Godot but red theme, but people are very excited about it? I have not heard of that. I will have to look into it. Yeah, personally, at this point for me, I've gone through Unreal Engine, I've gone through Unity, I've gone through most of the engines that are like well known, and kind of ended up sticking with Godot because it's just nice. Hey, Litwaves, how you doing? But one thing for me that I've realized is after Godot, if Godot doesn't suit the needs that I want it to, then I'm being too fussy. And the easiest thing for me to do, and it's not an easy thing, is to go create my own engine. So that's more than likely what I'll end up doing at some point, is just creating my own engine from scratch. And I don't mean my own engine in, you know, comparison to Godot or Unity or things like that, just engine specific to the game that I want to make. But that is one of those things where it's like, that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work to get yourself into. And if anybody else has a question like that, where it's like, should I create a game engine? No. If you want to create games, create games. If you want to create a game engine, create a game engine. If you want to know how an engine works to be able to create games better, create a game engine. That is actually a genuine thing. Like, I learned a lot from some of the game engine stuff that I did in the past. It definitely teaches you a lot about how game engines do certain things and how it can impact your games. And it allows you to, you know, contribute to things like Godot and other programs if you know the language, of course. But yeah, did we do on tile? That's wrong. On tile map created. This is going to be needing a rect2, and we'll call it terrain size. Terrain rect, there we go. You can use a look on the project. Oh, I very appreciate that, and welcome. Why is this being problems? Stop being problems. I demand it. Oh, no, never mind. I know why that's being problems. That's being problems because I'm still used to C# and I am typing in C# and not GDscript. There we go. Yep. Right, so basic signaling has been set up. I already somewhat dislike the system and we'll need to rework this. Camera is probably not going to be needed necessarily anymore, but we will figure that out in a second. So let's close that. Let's go back to the terrain generator. At the end of my generation method here, indent, there we go. I want to grab the event bus, dot emit that's annoying. I did set that as the emit, right? Make sure that's saved. Okay. Why are you doing this? This should work fine, and now it's being odd. Sorry for the dead silence. You give me 1 second to figure this out. This is a bit weird. Oh. Yeah, that's just not working. That's interesting. That is going to be a reload the project thing, I think. Project, reload the project. This is something that I don't have to worry about when I am working with like GDscript and not GDscript, the Godot built-in editor, which I mean that makes sense, you know. Now that's just failing to open things in general. Great. Reopen the project. Oh. Close that out. Oh wait, I shouldn't even need to do that anymore. I should be able to just click this. Yeah, that did exactly what I was expecting it to do. That's annoying. Okay. Terrain generator autoloads. Yeah, this is the issue that I do have with Rider at the moment. I think I've misconfigured something, or just haven't configured something correctly in general. So what I end up having to do is pretty much just do this and just keep opening that individual folder as a JetBrains thing, and that should function. Oh. Give it a second. Let it. There we go. Loaded. Grand. Good. Awesome. On tile map created. There we go. Connect, and I want to connect that to the on tile map created signal that I have yet to create, or function that I have yet to create. Throw that at the bottom of my script. My clamping and stuff got removed. That's annoying. Yeah, that should all function. That all functions grand. So what I should be able to do here is just set the tile map rect equal to the terrain rect times. So I'm using 64 tiles, so I can just do times 64. Yep. And the issue you're having is I need dot size. And I don't want times equals. Brain breaking. Woo. Yeah, that should work. This is something that's going to need to get reworked again. It's not on this. I have a node extensions file for this in C#. I don't have that in GDscript at the moment, but that is something I can work on sooner or later. So let's get the functions for clamping the camera sorted. If anybody has any other any actual questions about what I'm currently writing, please feel free to ask. I love explaining things. Tile map rect, and then divide that by 2 for centering it correctly, and then call that on the tile map created function. Then I want to go into my process and I want to clamp the camera. Bang. That should do everything I want it to. He hopes I'm going to make sure that this is working correctly, because there's a feeling that it's not. Now that should definitely be working. That is immediately breaking. Let's do it this way. Zooming is working. Scrolling is no longer working. Why is that? That is correct. That is correct. That's also correct. That should be correct. Yeah. Clamping functionality isn't clamping correctly. Why would that be? Oh, wait, I know why that would be. That's why. Order of operations. Don't get caught in order of operations. Order of operations can really screw you over sometimes. So what was happening there was with how Godot creates scenes and things like that, it goes from children, bottom to top, and then parent. So in this case, game, it would go how it was originally. It would set up the RTS camera, then the terrain generator, then the game. What this actually needs to do is set up the terrain generator, then the RTS camera, then the game. That should function if I'm remembering that correctly, and there you go. So what this has now done is, regardless of how large my terrain is, or my terrain box here, it will forever clamp the center of the camera right on the edge of the box. And that works for every type of panning that I've set up, which includes drag panning and WASD. And I can also zoom out really, really far and zoom in really, really, really close. And but that sorts out, honestly, the harder part of this, which was just setting up the camera. The camera itself is really interesting. One of the hardest things that I had to deal with the camera was just making sure it's delinked from timescale. Because if it's not delinked from timescale, you run into some weird issues. Now, what do I mean by timescale? Well, if I go into my ready function here, I go engine dot timescale, and I set that equal to 4.0. What's going to happen is the engine time itself will now run at 4 times the speed. So if I had a timer going on that was counting up to 60 seconds, it would only count, it would only take up 20 seconds to actually do, wait, 2, 4, 6, no, that's 3. It would take X amount of time to actually get to the minute mark, right? Because of how timescale works. So if you did it at 2 times speed, it would take 30 seconds, 3 times speed, etc., etc. So in this instance, I wanted my camera to be delinked, which is also why I was originally using tweens. And then I realized those are just linked to the delta function, which means they're linked to engine speed, which is a pain in the butt. But that is my camera sorted. I don't need that script anymore. And it's converted to GDscript, and it feels like there is some small cleanup I've got to do. But it feels good. Looks pretty chill. Let's see if I can still do this. Export category. Oh, okay. Now Ryder's doing some good things to my brain right here. That's just good. That's just good. I can do all of my exports and things. So I think that's actually all the time I have for today. Yeah, because it's been about 2 hours. My brain is slowly starting to fry, and I think I actually need some food. Next time, I will have a lot of this already rebuilt, so we'll probably be working on something new, like something new to actually add to the project. Sorry, this has just been a really long ramble of me struggling through Rider and just general conversion things. But I hope it was fun at least, because this is just something you end up having to do if you do want to switch over to a different language or just different engine. A lot of neat little things. I need to clean this up and clean up a lot of other things as well. Yeah, not bad though. But yeah, I think that is probably where I'm going to leave it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you're all having a great day, great game of Journey, all of the things I normally say in videos. yeah, I will probably see you all tomorrow around the same time. I think that's going to be when the next stream is. Yeah, see ya.